Let's talk Josh Allen. Let's talk Bengals defense. Should be a very interesting one. I've already made a video talking about the other side of the ball, how the Bengals offense should attack the Bills defense. Well, now let's go the other way around. Couple of things to note. First, we're starting off with this chart you see on the screen. This is where each of these teams rank in specific Pro Football Focus categories. You see the Bills' third best passing attack. That's just throwing the football itself. Worth noting, Josh Allen, I believe, is their number one ranked quarterback as a whole. If you factor in his running ability, as you see at the bottom of the screen, Buffalo's number one in rushing attack. Also worth noting, 11th best receiving core versus the 10th best coverage unit. So this is, good receiving core, good coverage unit, great quarterback. That's kind of the situation right now, which typically favors the offense, you would think. Now, also worth noting, an advantage for Cincinnati is the pass rush. Cincinnati's pass rush has been good this year, 6th best in football, whereas Buffalo's pass blocking hasn't been terrible, but is 20th best in football. So it's not quite the jump that we talked about in the last video of the Bengals pass blocking versus the Bills pass rush, but it's not that far away from it either. There's definitely a defensive advantage there. And also, just kind of one of the weird things is the Bills do not run block very well. The Bengals do not stop the run very well, but the Bills do actually run the football effectively with their halfbacks and also with Josh Allen. He's a big contributor in that good run grade. But now I want to go over here. This chart is so fascinating to me and might be why I end up making my prediction at the end of this video the way I do it, because Josh Allen, when he is blitzed, is not great. Actually, the offense is bad when he's blitzed, interestingly enough. I mean, 14th best PFF grade, so he's fine, but he turns into a mediocre quarterback in that scenario. And the overall team, 36th best passer rating among, I believe it's 44 eligible quarterbacks. I mean, that is not good whatsoever. 82.1 is the passer rating. These tend to be more team stats than quarterback stats, so I'm not like getting on Josh Allen too much for it, but it's really fascinating, especially when the other side, when he's not blitzed, best PFF grade in football, 6th best passer rating, a passer rating over 100 in those scenarios. The Bengals don't love the blitz, only 22nd in blitz percentage, and if they don't blitz a ton in this game, that could be a massive advantage for the Bills, who probably will pick that apart. Like, again, it's just stuff like this is what they do so effective, which is, just picking apart these zone coverage plays, which the Bengals love to do. This is what the Bengals, kind of their bread and butter. And, I mean, you're going to have to find a way to stop Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs if you're going to do it. This is the Gabe Davis play where you're just going to try to sit into a gap in coverage. That's all he's doing. Look at how when this play begins, you're going to see that right here. You see that there is a window to make this throw to, Gabe Davis. There's definitely a window here. Allen is going to make these throws pretty consistently. He has the arm strength to fit it through tight windows as well. He's very good at this stuff. And the Bills have been lethal when teams try to do this to them all season this year, especially this cover 3 zone, which the Bengals like to do, which is, again, that's advantage Buffalo. It really is. This is where the stuff gets weird, right? Of if you're Cincinnati, what do you do? Do you stick with what you're good at, or do you stop it because the team that you're playing is good at beating what you're good at? It's an interesting dilemma. Also, I want to talk about this because this is something I keep seeing teams do. I saw this in the playoff game a few times, and it didn't hurt Miami too much, but it's still something you gotta stop doing, I think. I'm a believer, and I think this is a mistake too much, where teams are doubling Stephon Diggs too much, which seems like a mistake, but here's what I mean, where this is a cover 2 man, but watch that safety right there, and watch what he's gonna do. Look at how when this play begins, you're gonna see him move in. I mean, he's paying attention to Diggs, and again, I get it, doubling Diggs, not a bad strategy, but the issue is that when you're leaving these other guys one-on-one, they can win down the field. And that doesn't have to be a superstar, because again, Allen is so accurate and has such a big arm, he can make those throws down the field so consistently. Like right there, that's Isaiah McKenzie, who is, he's winning his one-on-one matchup right here. You don't have to be a huge name in this Bills offense to be effective. They have guys who can do this. Watch as Allen does make this throw, and they are able to pick up a touchdown right there. That's something that I think you have to be wary of if you're playing Buffalo. I get it. You don't want to just leave Diggs one-on-one. That's a scary thing to do. But if you don't, well, then you might be even worse off. So this is just where things get definitely scary for Cincinnati. And, can Cincinnati cover Diggs one-on-one in this spot? I really don't know. Awuzie's injury, that hurts them. That really does. I don't know if they have a guy who can cover Diggs one-on-one. So I think you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Or maybe you double Diggs but still leave another safety deep, something like that. I really think that going over here, this is the way that the Bengals win this one, I think. It's by pass rush, which typically I don't love that as a strategy. I think that you have to be able to cover first in the NFL. But again, I'm not saying that they're going to win just purely with pass rush, even if guys are going to go up and down the field. That tends to not work. But you are going to have plays where you cover things up, and you want to make sure that you can get a pass rush there to take advantage. And I think they should be able to do it. They have a couple guys who can, rush the passer very well. Obviously, Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson have been a really good tandem for them, and I think that they're going to have to probably be very good in this one, but I think it's possible. Like this play, it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson, who's getting double teamed here, actually. But watch how, as you see, he is going to be able to get through, and he is going to get to Josh Allen, and we've seen Josh Allen not just be susceptible to the occasional sack, we've seen him lose the football at times. Sometimes, we saw it in the Miami playoff game, right, where he had that fumble, and that could be a potential concern, especially when, Deion Dawkins is a great tackle for the Buffalo Bills, but the other tackle spot has been really not great all year, regardless of who it is. Spencer Brown has been the guy for most of the year. He will be the guy on Sunday, and he's Pro Football Focus's 76 rated tackle out of 83 total tackles. That's a way that you could potentially come in and, make some noise. So, okay, predictions time. And this is final predictions time. As, in my last video, I said I think the Bengals will be able to score a total of 22 points in 11 drives. 2 points per drive is what I gave them. Can the Bills perform better than that? Well, I talked about the matchup. I don't love the matchup for the Bengals. I just don't. And they have injuries now. So while their defense has been good on the year, 1.78, it hasn't been quite as good as the Bills' offense has been. 2.64 has been one of the best offenses in football. In fact, both of these teams have very good offenses and very good defenses. I mean, this is still great on great, but I think the Bills actually have a pretty good matchup here. I think they should be okay. My points per drive prediction is 2.5 points per drive for Buffalo. I think they score 28 points. It was 27.5 points, so I rounded up to 28 points in this 11-drive game that I am predicting. I have the Buffalo Bills winning. My final score is Bengals 22, Bills 28. I don't know why I did the score like that with 22 all the way on the left and 28 all the way on the right. I don't know. It's just how I decided to do it. But anyways, I do think the Bills win this game, but I'm not saying for sure. For one thing, I'm not saying any game for sure. It's the NFL. Weird things happen. But also, I do think that one way that the Bills I could see losing this is, let's be honest, we've seen Josh Allen have some of those days where he gives the ball to the other team too many times. And I think that if the Bengals can win the turnover differential by even +2, I don't know if the Bills can overcome that. I don't know if that would be enough. And Joe Burrow, I do trust to protect the football a lot better than Josh Allen, and that's where things could become an issue. So while I like the Bills in this matchup, I think that I like the way that they match up and all of that stuff. There's just that concern about the turnover thing that you're hoping for, if you're a Bills fan, that the bad Josh Allen doesn't show up. Hopefully he just got it out of his system against Miami, which I thought that was kind of overblown. I didn't think he was as bad as people made it out to be. But I think that's the one way I could see the Bengals pulling off the upset. But I have Buffalo winning this one. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.